Hi everybody, Jo here. Thanks for popping in. Welcome to another coffee break with me. I've got my brew here. Have you got yours? I hope so. It's always nice to just spend a little bit of time with you. Now today I need to create a card, a topper to go on a 6x6 card and envelope that I've got here. So I've cut myself a piece of Multifarious card, and it's 5.5 inches ready, and I've put a black Sharpie line round. I do this a batch at the end of an evening when I finish crafting. I get a few blank pieces of card and I edge them. I just find it easier to do, and then I've always got one ready. And I'm going to come in with my low tack tape, and I've got an idea in mind, but we shall see how it goes. So again, I'm just putting this round. I've done this before. I love doing this. And it's a great way to start. You know, if you're not sure what you're going to do, a couple of you messaged and said your mojo's gone. And often, you know, if that happens, just maybe go back to a technique you've loved in the past, or just something you like doing. You know, not everything has to be a new technique. I mean, you know, just go with what you're comfortable with. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add some colour, and I'm going to come in with the blue Atoll and my brush. I'm just going to move my coffee out the way slightly. Into the lid, as always, a bit of blending. I'm just going to come in, start at the corners. Again, done this before, and then just a bit of gentle colour all the way round. And it's quite funny, when it's a new ink pad, I find I have to dab off in the lid more. As the ink pads get more used, I don't need to dab off in the lid as much to blend. But again, you'll be used to that. You'll know your ink pads. And I just want sort of down here some nice colour. And up here and round this corner. Then I'm going to come in with my circle, my moon mask. And we're going to add this up here in this area. So again, important to put your ink, especially if you've got a new ink pad, on the mask first. As I say, mine's quite a well-used one, so yeah, lovely. So we'll call that a day with that for now. Can always add some more later. And I'm just going to come in with a smaller stencil brush and the midnight blue. And again, just in the corners, just to darken off and down the edges, just to make the almost to frame the design. And it is important that I find the smaller stencil brush, because I don't want a large area at this darker. I just want it to be that edge. I don't want to do it too much. You don't want lines. I'm going to call that a day. Don't want to overcook it. And now we're going to do some stamping. So in with my copy paper. And again, if you remember, the copy paper, it's just something I do. When I started off, I had problems stamping, and this just gives me more confidence. And for me, it just makes me feel I get a better result with my stamping. So I'm going to come in. This is a stamp from the Lilium set. So there's a large one and a small one. And this is the smaller one. And I'm using black. And I've just caught that edge there, being a bit overzealous. Must be me coffee. It must be strong coffee. Made me strong. And we're going to pop that, I'm thinking, about here. And yes, I've not gone mad. I'm not stamping it growing up. I'm stamping it sideways. I have a plan, you see. So how are you keeping anyway? I hope you're having a good week. It's been a very busy week here. But then, busy is good. I can't complain. I'm going to bring in a couple of birds from the bird collection, and this is the bigger one. I don't often use this one, so it's nice that he's had a bit of an outing. I'm going to stamp him stud. Just want his tail in here on that beautiful, so it's a branch with a flower at the end, because do you know what, we can. And then somewhere I've got a smaller bird, sorry, reaching across. My little block disappeared then. And I'm going to put, I got the idea for this today when I was looking out and the pigeons and starlings were all stood on the wire at the back of the house across the trees, so gave me the idea for this. Now again, these birds are fabulous if you want to turn them into robins at Christmas, or if you red cardinals, I know quite a few of you like to do those. So whatever type of bird you want to make, again, you could make this longer and pop 3 on. I'm just going for 2 today. But what I want is I want them to have a bit of a dawn chorus, because one of the ladies messaged me, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, I think it was Carol, and she said she doesn't often use the music notes, so could I come up with something that would include the music notes? So I'm thinking that's a lovely composition, and with the birds singing. But what I do want to do, I just want to add a little bit, looks a little bit bare there to me. Don't know about you, what do you think? So I'm thinking a little bit of foliage. And I've got my oak leaf stamp here. So if I swap that, and if I come in with Twilight, I don't want it black, but I like the black and the blue. So I'm thinking if I just bring in a little bit of this, and I don't want to, again, don't want to overcook it, but I just need to be mindful of his tail there. We have a little bit there. Because this is a dark blue, I think it'll tone very well with the black. Now I'm thinking if I put this, it's important not to shape it all the same way. Now I just need something there, so maybe just the end 2 there. Just coming in across there. Yeah, I like that. Now do remember, I've stamped across the tape and the ink will dry slower across the tape, so we have to be careful not to smudge that. So we'll give it a little blot. But I'm just going to add a little bit of colour to my flower. And I'm going to come in with a couple of the clean colour, the Kuretake. Now, these are vastly different. I've got I know you're going to ask me the colours. So this is dull blue, number 34. And this is a very light one. This is Haze blue, 302. But what I want to do is, I want these back ones quite dark. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the dark blue there, but then pick up on my light colour. Now I love to do this because it doesn't damage the nib at all, and the pen will go back to that lovely light blue look, but it blends from dark. And then what I'm going to do is just pick it up again at the base here. I almost want a mid blue, and I couldn't put my hand on one of my mid, it's in a different box for a workshop I'm doing, so I thought, well, I know I can blend my own blue the right colour. So doing it this way, and I can look, if I want it a bit darker, there we go, and a bit darker here. And I just love this effect. And as I say, it doesn't damage the, and if I wanted to really clean it, I could just put it on some tissue paper or some copy paper. But I find just by using them to colour, it blends back to its lovely light colour. So look, that one's light, but again, if we had a bit of depth there, just at the base. There we go. And again, I find it easier just to take both lids off, keep them in my hand. And we'll add a little bit of our Signo pen just round where we've got that lovely, sorry, my head may come in. just where we've got the lovely edges there, and on there, maybe a little bit on the notes. Yeah, I like that. Right, little sip. Well, I think I'm wondering whether to add some light stenciling in the background. Do you know what? I think I might. So, I'm going to get my stencils out. And this one I think is Flora. And I'm just thinking what I may do. Now, I might regret this, but I just think if we just gently add a little bit of stenciling in the background. Just needs a little bit of something, and this almost looks as though it's going up. And again, I'm tickling it. I'm being very gentle, probably over gentle. I mean, at the minute I certainly can't see anything, but I don't want to come in too heavy and ruin it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Right, just a little bit more here. Don't want too much. Just in this corner. Right, tiny bit more in this corner. But like I say, not too much. I don't want to spoil it. Tiny bit more there. And then, so if I lift that up to show you, can you see? And I've not put it over the moon. I want to leave that. But I just think that for me in the background. So I'm glad I did that. And I'm going to add just a couple of little highlights with my... Now again, you can use your white gel pen if you want. I didn't want to add any start white to this one. Sometimes it's nice to do things a little bit different, isn't it? So what we will do is add some Posca. I'm really into this yellow Posca at the minute. So again, give it a shake. And I just want to add it all over. Again, just tap in that sweet spot, direct it. And then what we'll do is we'll get our heat tool. Now remember, if you're not sure whether your tape's low tack or not, use your heat tool. And what it does is it will just make sure that all this stamping is dry, but also what it does is your tape, look at that, lifts up like butter. Honestly, it's fabulous. So you can just, I mean, mine's Lavinia. I know it's going to come off, but look at this. Such a fabulous tip that. But there we go. Last little thing, we'll just pop a sentiment on there. So I've got my Heartfelt verses here. And there's a lovely just for you. And I think this card will make a lovely card for somebody who's struggling at the minute. And I think just for you will be perfect. So check that straight. And with my black, let's just add. And I think we'll go in the middle for diddle. There we go. And that, I think, will just be perfect on there. And I'll wait for it to dry and then I'll add it to my card. So I hope you like that design. As I say, inspiration purely from the birds singing outside today. We had a little bit of sunshine in between the rain showers. So that's where my inspiration came from. I hope you have a go. Maybe use some different foliage. But again, these music notes are fabulous. But if you wanted, you could put some more going off here. That's an idea. Maybe put a little bit of foliage coming out of here. Again, just take the inspiration and go with it, especially if Mr. Mojo's gone. Let's entice him back. And you know what? The best way to do it is have this cheeky brew and biscuit. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to very carefully not spill my coffee on that card because I'm really pleased with the way that's turned out. So you take care, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.